The interview with BJNN is brought to you by Biz Events, connecting the Central New York business community through events.
I'm Marnie Nesher, president of the Business Journal and News Network, and I'd like to welcome Jim McCarthy with Northland Communications. Northland is a third-generation family business that has serviced the Central New York region with telecommunication services for more than 110 years. They are located not only in Syracuse, but also in Holland Patton. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
All right. So, Jim, we always like to get to know you a little bit more. So we'd like for you to share with us, if you would, where you grew up.
Okay.
And where you received your undergraduate degree.
Okay. I grew up just outside Utica in Barneveld, New York, small town, and graduated from Holland Patton Central High School in 1989. Went on to Siena College, graduated there in 1993. And in 2001, I received a master's in science and telecommunications from then SUNY IT. It's now called SUNY Polytechnic.
Right. And what did you study at Siena?
I got a BA in marketing and management.
Okay, interesting. And then what brought you back into the family business?
Something I always had an interest in. It was I worked there in high school and in summers on the line crew, installing fiber back then for other phone companies and for ourselves. And I always just enjoyed it.
I actually saw a photo when I was in your office a while ago of you literally in the field.
Yep.
I mean, you were climbing a pole.
I wasn't climbing the pole. I worked on the line crew, but more as a groundsman.
As a groundsman,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that looks a little dangerous.
They didn't trust me enough to go all the way up the pole.
So tell me, who was your mentor growing up then?
Being in a family business, it was certainly my father. And many of the principles that we're using to run the business today are the exact same principles that he instilled in the company back in the late 60s. There's a bigger scope to it today. It's more of a geographic territory, more products, certainly more employees. So it's a little more complicated, but fundamentally it's the exact same thing that he was looking to do.
So tell us a little bit about Northland for those that may not be familiar with it. What are some of the products and services that you offer?
Okay. There's really two pieces to our business. There's the Northland Communications side and the Oneida County Rural Telephone side. Oneida County Rural Telephone is a founding company, founded in 1905, located in Holland Patton, New York, and it provides primarily residential phone service and broadband services. We're excited to be participating in the governor's broadband initiative to bring 100 megabits to every home throughout New York. We were successful in securing a $3.2 million grant up there to bring broadband to the most rural portions of that territory. The total project is around $6 million. We've run 140 miles of fiber in the unserved census blocks that the grant was designed for. We're going to bring broadband to about 700 homes that did not have broadband previously. There's still another several hundred that we still need to get to that are outside of the grant districts. But
so, what's your territory then?
In the old days it was a monopoly in Oneida County Rural Telephone's territory. We had 125 square mile service area that included the communities of Holland Patton, Floyd, Stittville, Steuben, portions of Marcy.
So really the Mohawk Valley region?
Yeah, a small portion of it. It's a small portion of it. Today, it's even in that area, it's competitive, whether it be competing with Charter, competing with cell phones, and other alternatives that exist today.
Okay.
And the Northland side of our business is providing business communications throughout Central New York, primarily Utica and the surrounding communities, Rome and the surrounding communities, and Syracuse and the surrounding communities.
Right. So, as a third-generation family business, which is very impressive to have survived as long as you have, being part of a family business myself and understanding the dynamics and how hard it is each consecutive generation, how do you stay in business so long, especially in an industry that changes so rapidly, telecommunications?
I think just by listening.
Okay.
Listening to our customers, paying attention to the industry. If we were just Oneida County Rural Telephone, it'd be a difficult time. Selling residential phone lines isn't a great business to be in by itself. But by listening to the consumers, listening to a market, as well as listening to industry, we started evolving past just being a residential phone provider in a rural market in the early 80s. And fortunately, we did then versus just trying to do it today.
Diversified.
Yeah, diversified, expanded beyond what was a regulated franchise area into the Utica market, and then ultimately, eventually, into the Syracuse market. And then paying attention to our customers, because even just the geographic market, things have changed dramatically with voice over IP. Things are going to change again in the future with 5G technologies and those types of things. But fundamentally, our goal is to get as many services over our fiber optic network as we possibly can.
So it's a challenge for a lot of businesses and small businesses, obviously in particular, to stay up to date with technology. How do you help your Northland customers do that?
Certainly, we share what we know about what's going on in the communications business, but I think it comes back to the same thing as well as listening to our customers. What are your needs? Telecommunications is a part of that, but that's not often your telecommunications today is more about making and receiving phone calls. It's about mobility and other applications. So understanding how our telecommunications products and services fit into our customers' bigger picture, and really paying attention because it's part of the equation. It's not the entire equation.
This leads me actually into an I-81 question.
Okay.
What is it that we can do when the changes to I-81 happen to be less disruptive to the businesses downtown? What is it that we need to be thinking of? What can we do to be proactive that we may not even be aware of?
Yeah, I think probably the first and most important thing is to be up to date as you possibly can on what's going on, the timelines, what's impacting you. And then for each business, they're really going to have to develop their own strategy. Is your business dependent on customers coming to you? And how will they be impacted for an extended period of time? Will it be intermittent? Are your employees, what impact is it going to have on your employees getting to work and understanding mobility? Do you currently have the ability, whether for an extended period of time or whether for a day, for your employees to work remotely? If there's challenges of getting to work at time, how are your customers going to get to you? And again, how does your telecommunications solution, and not only that, how does your overall solution, is it going to accommodate that? The good news is we're not the first city to go through something like this. So there's other cities that have gone through these transformative events from an infrastructure standpoint, the highway being a big one. I think we all need to learn from, Boston's probably a perfect example with the Big Dig, how they went through it. But really I think mobility is going to become significant
and
going
that's
forward.
really important. I don't even know if we've thought about it. We keep talking about what's going to happen, but we didn't really think about the actual impact. What do we need to do during this period of time, regardless of what happens?
Understand, do your employees have the ability to work remotely? Are your employees, you can look at your internal systems, right. But probably an important piece too is what sort of broadband solutions do your employees have at home? So even if you have a system that enables them to work remotely, are they going to have a vehicle to utilize that? If they're in a rural area and they're on a dial-up or a DSL type connection, is that going to work for them? So you have to look at it both from a company standpoint, but also get an understanding of what sort of resources do your team members have from home.
Something to think about. Good question, and it's just something that we're starting to really think about and get into as we get a little bit closer to whatever the decision will be.
Which is coming quickly.
Which is coming quickly, right. Talk to me a little bit about community. Northland is very involved in the nonprofit community here. Why do you participate? You, Maureen, a lot of your employees serve on boards and volunteer. Your name's really out there. Why is this important to you and your organization?
Again, it's a continuation of one of my father's beliefs. One of his slogans in the past was to be a good neighbor. And the other piece is we're a local organization. All of our business comes from the 315 area code, as we talk in telecom terms. But so it's important. The better the community does, the better opportunity we will have. So it's very important for us to take an active role in the communities that we serve and be as active as we can. One, we think it's the right thing to do, but two, we think it's also a prudent business decision as well.
You guys do a great job.
Well, thank you.
Certainly out there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Maureen does a great job. And how many family business members are currently in your organization?
Family members?
With you, family members.
So There's two of us, myself and my sister Maureen,
Right, okay.
the director of community development, or excuse me, vice president of community development. My older sister, Mary Malone, was part of her business for many, many years, and she has since started her own business. And so we're very proud of her efforts as well.
Very nice. So it's still 110 years and going strong.
Yep.
So if you look towards the future, what can you envision going into next year for the Central New York area? What do you see on the horizon for us?
I think I think it is an exciting time. You see growth. It's certainly fun to see the big cranes around the Carrier Dome, but there's some challenging times with uncertainty with the political environment right now and trade wars and those types of things. But as a whole, I think the Central New York has done a good job positioning itself. We're optimistic. We've grown from around 100 employees to about 115 in this past year alone. So, we're seeing growth, and we provide services to our customers. So we're seeing growth means that our customers are growing as well. So that's very exciting to us.
It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for the area.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you joining us, and please stay tuned. For more updates by checking out our website at CNYBJ.com.